LA was a beautiful place. I had a lot of friends. There's a lot of parties going on, and like meeting new people every day. You go to the beach, it's always sunny. You go for a skate, you go for a surf, and it's just like an incredible place to be. Fun, 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 having fun, having fun, having fun. Work is fun, life is fun, everything is fun. And that's what I thought that I wanted, right? Like, just like, yeah, if you just like go after your dream and then you have a lot of fun, and then that should be it. That should be the point of life. And that's what I realized, that there's actually a difference between fun and fulfillment. So I was like, okay, maybe it's a time for me to like just branch out a bit and like just peek outside of this perfect life and then see, you know, what's out there. So I went to visit this eco village because I wanted to see how do people live outside from, I guess, like a employed tech world, or, you know, like from just like being able to like be plugged into what you all call like this capitalist society. Like, what do people live like that? And then this visit was really, really interesting. It was definitely like, I definitely got to see like the great side and also the slightly darker side of what you'll call like the hippie way of living, where people lived without the idea of, without considering of money, without, you know, like without like having a job or any sort of like solid responsibilities, where people are really free and happy. And then they go and then they like, you know, I enjoyed seeing people not having to struggle for money and not having to, you know, be stressful about things that they really shouldn't be stressful about. Things like having a place to live, things like, you know, social pressures, things like work pressures. I was also trying to find like creatively a higher purpose of creation. So like I realized, okay, like I can just keep creating these like beautiful visuals and these fun art and then like make some music and yeah, it's cool or whatever. But at the same time, I felt I had this really like strong, deep fear that like none of these things matter much, because like as I was creating things like these kind of visual, I was like, oh yeah, it's cool. But at the same time, I was kind of doubting myself. Like, okay, like, are you creating this just to fulfill your own ego so that people would think that you're talented? Or are you creating this to actually, you know, like bring joy and happiness to the world? And I think at the time it will probably be a little bit of both. And it's totally okay to create for ego, you know, like, you know, we all have ego and we all want to succeed and we all want to, you know, do good in life. But at the same time, I felt like that was just not enough. So like I wanted to imagine myself like being, you know, 70 years old and looking back on my life, and like if all I did it was just creating these kind of like trippy psychedelic visuals so that we can all look for fun, I feel like that was just not, like I would not be happy with myself. And then started asking myself, okay, like if you don't want to just create for fun, if you want to create something that like that's more different, like what can you do? So with that thought, I went on a whole journey of, you know, what are some of the things that I care about, like about the world? What are some of the things that I feel like I can do to make the world a better place? And then went on this whole rabbit hole of like reading about environmentalism. Oh, maybe like, you know, what are some of the things that we can do as artists to make the world at least like greener? You know, like if you say you want to make the world a better place, it's very abstract. But if you delve into like, you know, like making people happier, that's also like really confusing. Like, how do you define happy? Like one thing that you do that might save you might not save others. But the environment, at least that's something we can all agree upon. Like, you know, like we all agree we want to live in better environments, right? Like there is no controversial about that. No one's like purposefully want to just live in a like kind of stinky, polluted place, right? Like that's kind of like a common understanding that we can all have as, you know, the human collective. So that's when I discovered, okay, maybe like I can start making art for this kind of purpose. And long story short, as I was kind of going through this journey of like looking at different things that can, you know, like help out with the environment, and I also like had these thoughts. I was okay, like maybe art is just kind of too decorative to help out with the environment. Maybe I should just like dump everything and then just go study environmental science, you know, start from an intern and then start all over again. But then that thought also scared me. I'm like, oh my God, so like does it mean that all the stuff I knew how to do in AR like doesn't really matter anymore? So in the end, I like was faced with this challenge on like, how do you bring what you really enjoy doing and what can like also be beneficial to the world. Like there must be a cross section, right, for all of us. Doesn't matter which area of interest you're in, like if you do sports or if you do, you know, like performance, or if you're an engineer, like there must be that cross section where you can find, you know, like a balance that fulfills all those needs. And that's when I found out about the Art of Ikigai, which is a super cool, like really inspirational, like Japanese form of art as a living art. And I shared this with my parents. My mom like loved this picture. She set this as her screensaver, and she told this to all her friends, and I told this to all my friends. And it was basically a concept of like combining these four aspects of what you care about. So like you're doing what you love, and you're doing what you're good at, and you're doing what you can get recognized for so you can make a living out of it, and you're doing what the world needs. And then at the center, that's your ikigai, and then that's like what will give you a really fulfilling and also impactful and also joyful life mission and purpose. And so when I found out about this graph, I was like, okay, like this is very similar to what I was looking for. I was kind of exactly looking for that. I don't want to just do what I love, like, because that felt really overindulging. And I don't want to just do what I'm good at, because that's also dry. And I definitely don't want to just do what I can get paid for, because that's just like so sucking, you know. And then I can like, and also can't just do what the world needs, because then in the end you're just like giving it and giving and giving it, and then you're not like really living your own potential. So ikigai is just this wonderful philosophy of combining all these ideas into like this beautiful cross section. And that's basically what I've been looking for the past, I don't know, like ever. And actually, so this whole project named Agartha that I'm creating, and it's also the project that I'm creating with the Forefront Residency, actually lies exactly in the center. And I've been just feeling so lucky and grateful that I was able to bring all these pieces together and, you know, like have really inspiring people to talk to and meet up, and also utilizing the knowledge that I know into creating this, and then also creating this as an art project, but it's also beyond an art project. That also would raise awareness and hopefully some capital for an idea that we're trying to push, that I think will bring a lot of beauty and abundance to the world. So in the end, the summary is that what this project and what I'm working on for Forefront, which I really don't think we have time to get into because I have 1 minute left, but we'll love to delve into what this project is in my next session. But this whole project is basically like my ikigai. It's like where I exactly want to be.